Honey. Yes, yes, yes. Education is elevation. And I watched the Chris Rock special and it wasn't good. You see what I'm saying? Chris Rock is the type of black friend that liberals love to have to play into their anti-black dispositions. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's caping for Chris Rock right now, and I don't understand. So we're gonna start this off by kind of stating the obvious. A lot of people will respond to this video and say, people have gotten so sensitive and they cannot take a joke. They're gonna people that say that. Before I get into this, though, I got a new intro. Hey, let me tell you how I think about it. Percussion. The world has gotten sensitive. That's what a lot of people gonna say. The world has become sensitive. I made some notes while I was making that, while I was watching that special, while I was folding clothes. And before I get into my notes, I just want to make some things clear. No comedian is above criticism or above reproach. So when you make the claim that people have become too sensitive for jokes, I think that people have become too sensitive to hear criticisms of jokes. It's too many rich millionaire comedians that have resources to researchers, to writers, to producers, to creative thought, and they not using those resources to be able to make comedy that is upspring for 2023. To me, I think that in the 1970s, there were a lot of white comedians that complained and cried about not being able to make the same Negro jokes they used to be able to make. They should say, hey, listen, man, I don't have no issue with black people, but if I can't make jokes about them, then X, Y, and Z. That's how a lot of people sound when it comes to defending things that comes from comedians. Chris Rock named it. What did he name it, man? He named his special Triggered. He opened up his special with talking about woke traps. Not only did he open up the special talking about woke traps, he did the special in Baltimore. Baltimore is the hometown of Jada Pinkett Smith. In this, he said, we in Baltimore, and whenever he do a show, he do his homework. Chris Rock said that in the live special. He said that whenever he does the show, he does his homework. So for me, the question becomes, did you choose to do this special in Baltimore, or did Netflix choose to have you do this special in Baltimore? Because it's giving gaslighting. You see what I'm saying? When I was in college, I went to the University of Oklahoma, and I understood that I had a lot of resentment towards middle-class black people in the way in which they tried to play respectability politics in front of my face, in front of white people. Chris Rock ended his special and dropping the mic and said he was raised right and that his mama told him not to fight in front of white people. My question becomes, so did your mama teach you to have disrespect for black women in front of white people? So you're talking about how your mama raised you. Did your mama teach you to talk very facetiously and denigrate black women at the expense of making white folks laugh? I want to know, did your mama teach you that? Because I'm thinking like, man, if you are now conducting yourself as a, you know what I'm saying, result of how your mama taught you or raised you, I'm giving shit. Your mama didn't raise you that good then. You see what I'm saying? This is what I know from being a black man from the hood, a black man from a lower socioeconomic background that has the ability to express himself in particular ways and having more middle class, more palatable black people try to play with me in my mind. And I don't like that. You see what I'm saying? What else did Chris Rock do? What else did Chris Rock say? He opened up and talking about how words don't hurt harder than being punched in the face. And then he followed it up with woke traps. What does it mean to talk about woke traps in an audience of black people? And acknowledging the mic drop that your mama taught you that you should not fight in front of white people. Now, a lot of individuals that are going to defend what Chris Rock said are going to be claiming to be some pro-black revolutionaries that's now feeding into respectability politics. Hey, listen, man, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you disrespect me and play with me in front of some white folks, we lying to tear that place up in front of them white folks. Because if you think you're going to play this game of gaslighting and aggravating and agitating and think that I'm not going to respond, you crazy. You wilding. Not only is you wilding, it's like Chris Rock said something very specific about selective moral outrage, and then he accused Will Smith of having selective outrage because, hey, the whole world was calling him a B word. Because you weren't really mad at him, you was mad at Agos Alsina. That's what Chris Rock was saying. It wasn't funny. And then in the midst of that, he was able to talk trash about the anti-racist work that's going on, and he ain't doing the work. You see what I'm saying? You talking about anti-racist work, about revolutionary work, and you don't do that type of work. What does it mean for a rich black man to say the only charity he cares about is himself? What does it mean? If I'm a rich black man and I say, hey, Lululemon is selling $120 yoga pants, and I want to spend $20 on some regular yoga pants, that's supposed to be liberating? What? He said something there about, what did he say when he got there? What did he say? He said he made another joke after he made this, after he talked trash about being woke. The punchline to that joke was he was talking to one of his black family members about working, and they said their job, they feel seen, it's a safe place, you know, and it's diversity. And he said that his cousin was full of because he's a convicted felon. So convicted felons can't desire for a safe place to work at. They can't strive to be working at a place where they feel seen. See, to me, I know Chris Rock from Bed-Stuy. I'm from Bryan, Texas. You see what I'm saying? I know Chris Rock a little older than me. But y'all know, like in my hood and your hood and the Chris Rock hood, we didn't see a yo mama joke go too far and it end up in a fight. You see what I'm saying? We all know that Chris Rock had a creative hand in writing Everybody Hates Chris. And I can point to multiple different episodes where he was able to show the context of a humorous statement being taken too far and somebody ready to fight then. So we can make jokes at the expense of black women in front of white people, but if a black man punched you in the mouth in front of white people, he didn't went too far. See, for me right now, before I get back to the notes, it's almost need to have a conversation about rhetorical violence and physical violence and when it actually starts. Because if you believe the violence didn't start until Chris Rock got slapped in the face and it didn't start when he was talking about a black woman's hair and a texture, then I think that you lost in the sauce. You see what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, listen. We not in the 1990s no more. You feel me? A lot of them fat phobic, colorist, ableist jokes that flew in 1995 and 1994. In 2023, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it in 2023. I wasted an hour of my life that I would never be able to get back because Chris Rock wasted my time. You feel me? In an hour special, bro made literally one point that I thought that was, of substance. White men claiming they're oppressed right now is bombastic. That was a claim, you feel me, that I can agree with, But just because you got it right at 2 p.m., it don't mean I'm going to agree with what you said at 3 or 3:30 or 4, and you was wrong. Your mama taught you not to fight in front of white people, but you can aggravate and agitate in front of white people and then throw rocks and then hide your hands when they come look for you. Man, listen. You from Bed-Stuy, you from New York, ain't you? I got a lot of followers from New York. I got a lot of homeboys from New York, or homegirls from New York. And I don't understand how you get to play these games. You see what I'm saying? We all heard the metaphor about poking the bear. You don't poke the bear and then act scared and surprised when the bear is getting annoyed. You don't do that. Don't even make any sense. Let's keep on going, though. He said, the irony of talking about America being addicted to attention. The irony of making that statement while you are getting attention for being a victim is crazy. He said, America is addicted to attention. And then you literally use my attention because what you were saying, you weren't really saying much. You feel me what I'm saying? You was really spinning your wheels in a way where you recognize that if you did an hour and 5 minute special and you only referred to Will Smith at the beginning, at the end of the special, everybody gonna watch the whole special just to see what you're gonna say about Will Smith. Talk about America being addicted to attention, man. Shout out to Diamond on the back. I truly wish Chris Rock was canceled after the video of him of those 3 white guys using the N-word. He's just sitting there laughing with them. Hey, Erica, I was getting to that point because you know what? When he's making the argument about selective outrage, I'm annoyed. I do the work. You see what I'm saying? You can make the criticism that I don't do enough of it. You can say that I should do more of it, but it's undeniable that I do the work. I feel some type of way when an individual that does not do the work try to monetize criticisms about anti-racist social justice work. So you'd rather pay $20 for some racist leggings than pay $120 for, you know what I'm saying, some anti-racist. You a millionaire. You a millionaire. Chris Rock is the embodiment of the liberal black friend that the white Democrats love to have. Don't buck and get mad with some. Hey, Ariel, Ariel, this part right here, right? As somebody that's from the hood, because that's what he was talking about. You see what I'm saying? As somebody from the hood, he was able to hone into them comedic styles and his comedic, you know what I'm saying, talents by being able to deploy those that comedy in the hood. Before he made the joke about Jada Pinkett, you already knew Will Smith auditioned to be Muhammad Ali. You already knew that Will Smith was doing videos and doing movies with his shirt off, showing his abs. So you making the point to say Will Smith is a lot bigger than me, it came off as some sucker shit to me, right? Hey, listen, I'm 6'1", 180 pounds. If I'm talking noise, you feel me? And using fighting rhetoric with somebody that's 6'3", 250, I already knew that before I made the joke. It is not time for me now to start copping a plea and being like, well, I know I said some disparaging things about your wife, but I'm only 5'8" and you're 6'2". You a B word because a B word ain't gonna do nothing for hitting me. Listen, man, you already knew that before you decided to make the joke about Jada Pinkett in front of all the white folks at the Oscars. And this is what I don't like either, right? We give a criticism about playing victim, and then you make it like, well, you say you're not a victim, but then you make it as if what happened to you and what you said about Jada was the first time. The internet, the receipts gonna be there. So we can go pull through the internet and see this is the first time you said some disparaging remarks about Jada Pinkett Smith. And this is the part that really blew my mind. You dropped the mic and ended with saying your mama told you how to act in front of white people. She didn't tell you about how you make humor with white people at the expense of black folks and how some black folks are wanting to snap, crackle, and pop you in the mouth. No, keep on going to the notes. Go back to the notes. So he says that Meghan Markle married the Sugar Hill gang of racism, the creators of racism, but then ended that joke with saying, but some of the stuff that you go through don't be racism, it be in-laws. A lot of the jokes he's making is literally trying to defend and or be resistant to narratives about racism and who you think that appeal to. All those jokes that Chris Rock make about race, they're made to be consumed by white folks. His humor is literally written in a way to be punchlines for white people to get a good old chuckle. I got my creative manager back. Shout out to the political plug. We had a conversation, right? Bruh told me when he was watching Office Hours, when he was watching The Office, the show, a Chris Rock joke came in because they had to go to HR because a white dude decided to make a joke at a workplace of what Chris Rock said. When I make the statement and say that, hey, Chris Rock is the liberal, the black friend the liberals love to have, this is what I'm speaking of. When she referred to that video with Bill Maher and them 4 white dudes, there wasn't no Bill O'Reilly type dudes. There wasn't no MAGA supporting type dudes. Them was some good old Democrats that'll tell you they voted for Barack Obama 2 times. They would have voted for a 3rd chance. They would have had the time to. Those are the white folks he was hanging with. He didn't give no pushback when they called him the N-word. Just like he's identifying that he felt like the entire world was calling Will Smith a B-word because his wife was getting slept with. Bro, we feel the same way, if not more, about you, because you ain't say nothing with them white folks. As a matter of fact, you refer to him as a N-word with a hard R. But you revolutionary, though, and you want to talk about the work. Man, you better kick them rocks down the street. So let's keep on going. This man made the claim on Netflix. I want to point this out. Netflix is a streaming service that's owned by white people. So all the jokes that he made about wokeness and Meghan Markle and all the colorism with Draymond Green and Steph Curry, white people benefited the most from those jokes. So while he's making jokes trying to aggravate and piss off Will Smith, who's the main beneficiary of the labor that he's doing? A white person. So what does it mean for you to acknowledge that your mama said don't fight in front of white people, but white people finna benefit the most from the shit you picking up? It don't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? So let's keep it going, though. He said that Meghan Markle is trying to gain the respect of her white in-laws. She's a black person. This black man said it jokingly, but I think that he said it very seriously too. Said that a white girl trying to be accepted by her white in-laws is harder than a white woman trying. He said a white girl trying to be accepted by her black in-laws is harder in relation to anti-black racism. Do you hear the claims? I'm getting tired of racially illiterate millionaires that have the resources to research and to read and the leisure time to read that's not doing the work and then make these claims. Hey, listen, man. If you are in a particular industry and you claim you love your craft, shouldn't you be always already improving your craft? Why is you still making the same old school fat phobic colorist jokes you would have made in 1995? He said that when Meghan Markle was making an issue about the royal family wanting to know what color the kid was, he said, why are you being surprised with that? Black people want to know the race of the kid too. This is racial illiteracy. You see what I'm saying? When white liberals know they're going to get in trouble for saying something about black people, they're going to repeat a black person like Chris Rock to say, hey, I ain't said Chris Rock said it. Difference between black people and niggas. Remember he made that? Remember he made that claim about niggas and black people? It's obvious the narrative he's creating, how in this binary, black people versus niggas, who he's creating as being exposable and disposable and who he's creating as being okay. It's not niggas. So let's get back into it. So when he makes the claim that the royal family is just as concerned with the color of a baby as black families are, and said that, hey, are we going to have a Steph Curry? We're going to have a Draymond Green. This man is the same skin tone as Draymond Green. And he had the nerve to say, Draymond Green is so black, he can sneak up on you. What he said, what he say? He said, Draymond Green, he sneak up on you black. That's what he said. So when you going down your For You page or your Instagram page or your Facebook page and you see this black man making all these jokes about black folks, who is the main consumer of Chris Rock content? It ain't black people. It's white folks. What does it mean for him to make this colorist claim about Draymond Green? Your mama told you it's cool to talk about colorism in front of white folks? So what's you may listen. Hey, I recognize Chris Rock old enough to be my daddy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna deny that at all. You know? I'm disappointed when old ass black men conduct themselves in particular ways and then try to talk about their age. Hey, listen, Kevin. Whether you look for Chris Rock to educate you or not, that's not my argument. My argument is the impact that the shit that Chris Rock say and do, how it impacts the lived experiences of black people. So when he talking about wokeism, I recognize that the liberals that got beef with wokeism and the conservatives that got beef with wokeism don't copy and paste what Chris Rock said. You see what I'm saying? I'm the educator. I hope you come to me to be educated, not Chris Rock. But my point is, hey, listen, a lot of times it ain't about who right. It's about who loudest. And Chris Rock was loud. Chris Rock is loud. And peep game, I'm not making the claim that Chris Rock was woke. I'm actually making the claim that the way in which he talked about being woke was dangerous, especially because he's not woke. Hey, Tara, I watched for 5 minutes and decided that, you know what, because I know In order for me to go in on how I want to give Miss due diligence and watch the whole thing. So I watched the whole thing. But like I said, I believe Chris Rock owed me some money. I believe he should pay me a little percentage of whatever Netflix gave him, because the time I spent watching this special, I'm not gonna get it back. It's impossible for me to get it back. It's gone. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep on going though. He said, you can't tell none of his jobs at work. And Political Plug, when he said that part, he said this explicitly in his in his Netflix special, that you can't tell none of these jokes at work. And it made me think about the conversation that me and one of my best friends, the Political Plug Damo, had about what how the Office, the hit show Office amongst white people, how the context of Chris Rock got in that show. And it was based off of this. White folks repeating a joke that Chris Rock said. Hey, I didn't say it. Chris Rock said it. Chris Rock said that black men, niggas, want to get credit for stuff they already supposed to do, like raise their kids. And then you repeating that. Hey, I remember when Kevin Hart was experiencing his uprise. I was watching his show. Chris Rock and Kevin Hart had an episode on the show where they was making distinctions between being white famous and black famous. And Chris Rock let them know, hey, I'm white famous. You're black famous. Y'all don't think that play into how he talking about respectability politics right now? I do. The wishy-washy jokes on abortion. Chris Rock opened up a joke with talking about how he's pro-life because he had 2 kids, 2 beautiful daughters, and he at least pro their life. That's what he said, right? He backdoored that by saying, but he's pro-life, but he's also pro-choice. And then he used the inflammatory rhetoric of killing babies. This man went on for at least 90 seconds using rhetoric, language that the pro-choice people use to criminalize people of pro-life people use to criminalize people of pro-choice. I live in Texas, man. It's a 17, 18, 19-year-old girl right now as I speak to y'all being criminalized because she wanted to take control of her body the same way that Chris Rock said that he believed his 2 daughters should be able to control their body. At the same time of saying, I didn't pay for more abortions than any woman in here. Thought it was a joke. It's funny man. What do we do when the comedians ain't funny? You see what I'm saying? What do we do when the joke is not laughable? It's not. What do we do with that? Do we just become sensitive? Me, I was like, hey, the reason why I'm able to give the criticism about the joke because I was able to take the joke in a particular manner. But I was able to take the joke. All I'm saying is how the joke hit. It was just very tasteless. So let's keep it going. He said that women should be able to abort kids at 4 years old. Then he made a little cute play on words. Instead of us talking about trimesters, we should talk about submesters. Come on now. He's trivializing the position of being pro-choice. Hey, y'all, who, in terms of racial women, what women are going to face the brunt of being criminalized for having a choice? Black women. Tyree, hey, I'm glad I ain't the only one, black man. His jokes about abortion I'm talking about, not only was they deplorable, it was textbook white supremacist sympathizing, textbook anti-black apologists. As a matter of fact, I know that when Chris Rock and his team wrote that joke, they wrote it like, you know what? We don't want to piss off some of the white people that sign checks because, you know, Chris Rock has been in this industry for a long time. We want to mess up none of the white conservative money, but we don't want to mess up none of the white liberal money either. So, you know what we're going to say? We're going to make a wishy-washy claim. At the beginning of the joke, we're going to say we're pro-choice, pro-life. At the end of the joke, we're going to say we're pro-choice. But throughout the joke, we're going to make inflammatory remarks about killing babies. Sucker shit, man. This the part where I got this fire blip under me, right? I believe certain people on the internet hold me to a higher standard, a thousandaire with 1 million followers, than you do real millionaires with billions of followers. You see what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. Now, listen. I'm not complaining about it, right? But y'all hold me to a standard as an educator that says, hey, Countess Lee, if you come and bring us information, we expect the information to be accurate or at least have some credence to it. We allow for multi-million-dollar comedians to make half-truth claims or straight up false claims in the name of laughing? In the name of laughing? Ah, man. You were chastising for streaming on a white man's network for another white man's media outlet. You're getting paid for them. Okay, then. Hey, Ty, I think right now you're thinking very deeply about some shallow shit and you drowning in your own shallow understanding. You see what I'm saying? Within, if you watch the Chris Rock special, Chris Rock gives a critique for what I'm getting at right now. He said that, hey, companies shouldn't try to pass products for talking about being anti-racist. He also, Chris Rock, made the claim that his mama said he shouldn't fight black people in front of white folks. But he took his skinny, fast-talking ass up there on that Netflix live stream, Netflix special, and said everything he said about black people. So now it's starting to become where it's at. You feel me? I ain't a fool. A lot of y'all that's gonna be in defense of Chris Rock was going to be the same people that was in the defense of Kanye West. It's going to be the same people that was in the defense of Dave Chappelle. How is y'all being able to make what people are seeing as being pro-black at the same time caping for white supremacists? Chris Rock made sure to dedicate a whole part, especially to Elon Musk, be able to ride that Elon Musk meet in a way about how he just shoot so much cum, he this, that, and the other. Come on now. Snyder says, as Malcolm X said, don't make your entertainers your advocates for our issues. Their allegiance is their payments, not the cause of the community. Hey, listen, I agree with what you're saying. And the reason why I'm making this video right now, this live, is because of what you're saying, how much important it is. The importance of it is recognizing that when Malcolm X is saying that, hey, white folks don't pick comedians or trumpet players to be the leaders of their community, why they pick them to be ours? Hey, Chris Rock, he's trying to appeal to everything that Malcolm X said was bad way back when. Way back when he said it. So now in 2023, I feel like I'm echoing what Malik Shabazz said. You feel me? Is, hey, these entertainers, they racially illiterate. Chris Rock ain't doing no work in terms of independence of black people. But Chris Rock decided to dedicate 10, 15 minutes of his special with talking about anti-racist work. And you ain't doing the work. And I think not only is you not doing the work, you get paid on making the folks laugh that make my work harder. That man said, I care about my charity more than anybody else's charity. He a millionaire. We talk a lot about how conservatives love to cozy up to the Candace Owens type. We don't talk enough about how white liberals love to cozy up to the Chris Rock type. You're making jokes about black people for white entertainment. Hey, man. Say, hey, and then this part right here that reads my mind right here. What does it mean to make a video where you explicitly talking about social justice, minorities, oppressed people in the same light of talking about selective outrage? Hey, in 2023, Oscar, you don't think nothing going on more important than than Chris Rock having his millionaire feelings hurt and getting slapped in the face? It's giving selective moral outrage. It's giving self-centered selective moral outrage that say the only thing that matters in the world is how I experience it. Never mind that the black folks in Bed-Stuy, that where I'm born and raised, that still dealing with stuff. Never mind that I decided to come to Baltimore and they still dealing with stuff. As notice, Baltimore, Bed-Stuy, black places. Chris Rock didn't speak on no black issues. He talked criticism about them. He didn't speak no life of liberation or empowerment or inspiration to grassroots movement organizers. He talked trash about them. Hey, listen, Chris Rock old enough to be my daddy. I know that was using the word woke when he was my age. Why would he get up there and trivialize the concept of being woke like conservatives do? Why would he do that? The praise of Elon Musk when there are black billionaires he could have made same joke was very telling. This was shucking and jiving and shitting on anti-race work, something that benefits all black people. Hey, Noel, being real with you, This where this 450 people that's in here right now, this making me get pissed off. What you just said about him, especially recently, the comments, the recent video I seen on Dave Chappelle, it's the exact same way I feel about Dave Chappelle now. See what I'm saying? Hey, man, you got all this to say about the racists and about trans people. But when you bring Elon Musk to a live show, a Dave Chappelle show, we signed up to come see Dave Chappelle. We don't want to see Elon Musk get brought out on the stage. When them folks booed Elon Musk, Dave Chappelle responded in defense of Elon Musk. You know how many people came in my throat and my neck for talking about classism in relationship to Dave Chappelle because I was bringing down the black man? But he taking up for Elon Musk who talking down on the entire black community? Oh, consciously, you ain't woke. You trying to pull down to the black man. Y'all saying that in defense of black men that are defending white folks that's shitting on black people. And I'm hoping YouTube that I ain't say too many cuss words for me to get the full, you see what I'm saying, on this video, but I'm a little moved. You see what I'm saying? I'm a little annoyed. And I know how racial literacy operates. Racial literacy operates where people make whole claims. They literally lack the ability to read and write situations pertaining to race. Glad I finally caught you on live. I watch you daily again. You might want, hey, shout out to you, Grayson. Yeah, well, don't take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? Don't take my word for it. Look it up. I don't know what happened right there. But we back. We back at it. You see what I'm saying? We back at it. So now we're going to start getting into the dispositions, right? I want to be clear. I'm not trying to dictate the way in which Chris Rock get his lick back. I want to be on that. I'm not saying that Chris Rock can't respond after being publicly humiliated. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the way in which he talked trash and used fight rhetoric to a black person, followed by, mama told me don't fight no black people in front of black white folks. I don't like it. Yeah, his speech special was dangerous, given that he was in Baltimore. It's like he think it's funny to talk black. Oh, hey, Iggy. I'm be real with you, Iggy. Once I literally peep game that you making jokes about you always do your homework when you pull up to a city. Now I'm seeing, hey, Jada Pinkett, not only was she born and raised in Baltimore, how she got into doing acting, she got into it in Baltimore. So you saying that you do your homework, what that mean? On top of that, you know, like I know, hey, Iggy, a lot of work is being done in Baltimore. It's a lot of black people that's putting their blood, sweat, and tears into increasing the lived reality of black folks, not only in Baltimore, but throughout the country. Why did he take his black ass to Baltimore talking trash about being woke? Why did he take his black ass to Baltimore talking trash about anti-racist efforts? Why did he take his black ass to Baltimore talking about it's just like nah, fam, you know what you're doing. And to me, it made me feel like it made me feel like a lot of the black folks that we dealt with in college policy debate that love to play with our heads, love to pick and gaslight, and as soon as we was ready to show their energy, they played victim. Oh my God, black people always do me like this. Oh my God, why you? No, had the same energy you had when you was walking on the stage calling him the B word. Listen, I watched the whole hour. Chris Rock probably said the word bitch 3 or 4 times before he got to Will Smith. He got to Will Smith, he said it 14 times. I counted. Now, whether you 55 years old and you from Bed-Stuy, whether you 32 years old and you from the west side of Bryan, whether you 35 or 36, however old you is, I know you old as hell, you from Kansas City, you know, especially talking to a straight cisgender black man, talking to another straight, you can't be talking about bees, bitches, and hitting your chest and walking up and down. That's fighting language. That's fighting rhetoric. Don't act surprised when the individual want to bring it to you that way. Before you decided to make the jokes about Jada Pinkett, you already knew Will Smith was 6'2". You acknowledging that he's 6'2", and you still saying what you're saying about him. You playing victim. You playing victim though in a very strategic way by saying you're not a victim, and then you go proceed by playing victim. Hey, hey, I'll be real with y'all. Don't waste your time and watch the Netflix special. Let the whites watch it and enjoy it the way they always watch it and enjoy it. And whatever Netflix played Chris Rock, I hope he cash his check and get it good. But we don't need to give that man no more credence, legitimacy, credibility to this old whack ass special he did. It wasn't funny at all. You see what I'm saying? I didn't laugh no times in the hour and 5 minutes it took. I didn't laugh not one time. It wasn't funny at all. The only joke that he made that was like, that was clever, was him saying that everybody want to be oppressed and that white folks want to be oppressed. Other than that, it's trash. You see what I'm saying? Hey, and this right here. Education is elevation. Y'all know I consider myself a professional talker, right? So I think that I was been blessed with the gift of gab and the ability to take somebody else's shenanigans and turn it into a teachable moment. And this is what I recognize, right? There are different individuals that love to do what I call rage farming. They love to manufacture controversy and try to use it at the expense of people that found it controversial. Chris Rock has made a lot of money on bucking at black folks, and then they mad at you. See what I'm saying? We ain't got time for it, man. Education really is elevation. Plug, if you want to come on and say your things, I feel like I just said everything I want to say. You see what I'm saying? I didn't make the statements I wanted to make. I just want to be clear that we are able to have spaces where we're able to criticize comedians, criticize how people are able to deploy humor, and it just be that. You see what I'm saying? But me, I'm an individual that owns my emotions, that owns the way I feel. So you being able to tell me I was triggered by something he did, I'll be like, yeah, I was triggered actually. Let's be clear. Yeah, I was triggered. He made me feel like I'm 32 years old. He made me feel like I was 21 back in the classrooms at the University of Oklahoma again, dealing with somebody. Hey, your grandmama was an AKA. Your great-grandmama was an AKA. Your daddy was an alpha. Your great-granddaddy was an alpha. Your great-great-granddaddy was an alpha. And you like to get up in this classroom and play the respectability politics with a young first-generational college student, and I ain't going for it. That's what Chris Rock gave me. That's the reason why I'm annoyed right now, if I'm being real. I know when somebody playing in my face, and I know when somebody are deploying strategies of white supremacy. I know it. That's what Chris Rock did. See? Any black person that's been to a college, whether it was an HBCU or whether it was a PWI, you know the ways in which more polished around the edges black folks will play with us poor, rugged around the edges black folks. Y'all know how they do it. Chris Rock did that. I don't want to hear nothing about peacemaking and peacekeeping and you steady doing things to keep the peace down. That's just don't play in nobody's face. Don't play in nobody's face, man. Office hours on the way. Education is elevation. If you ain't been to our website lately, definitely go check out the website. New bio on the way. I got a whole bunch of merch. Don't think too deeply about shallow shit. I got that up on the website. You know what I'm saying? Shirts, hoodies, all that. You know, really a whole bunch of stuff. Y'all check it out.
Spontaneous percussion.
Oh, he on? You on?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What's your man? I said I wanted to say, let you spark a thought, but you know.
Hey, so all right, I gotta admit, bro, like the conversation we had earlier was a little knee jerk. Cause I ain't even gonna lie. I give you credibility because I'm as I was reading the chats, it's certain responses that I was seeing that I was just like people missing it. You know what I mean? Like I all I want to point out is the conversation about when people are saying, oh, well, you're on this platform, you're on Facebook, which is a white man platform. You on YouTube, which is a white man platform. Like, let's be for real. I'm gonna keep it quick and we out. You're missing the argument.
That's not
Chris Rock is saying that the reason why he didn't fight Will Smith is because he's not trying to fight on the white man's, like in front of white people. But doing this entire stand-up, having this entire conversation, calling this man bitches, you calling this man bitches in front of white people. You calling his woman bitches in front of white people. These are conversations. It's not that we are on white platforms having this conversation. It's that it's being blasted, it's being plastered in front of. You're saying the reason why you didn't engage physically was because we shouldn't be doing this type of shit in front of white people. But nigga will turn around and say, hey, this nigga and his bitch. This nigga and his bitch.
Literally. And he made a purpose to say it. What he wanted to let you know. I'm being disrespectful. I'm being derogatory. So it's like, what are we doing now? You're on mute. I don't know what happened. Y'all don't know what happened, but your audio went away. Say something now. Oops, can't hear you. Damn, it's whack. Just want to make clear though. I want to make clear that the criticism is not missed. The criticism is not that you shouldn't talk about black people on white platforms. The criticism is his argument that we shouldn't fight in front of white people and saying that you're creating a climate that makes it conducive to fight in front of white people. The last thing I'll say before I'm going to get on here, if you play games with black people and you feel like, hey, I'm going to do something that's going to warrant me us fighting, but I think you shouldn't fight in front of white people, congratulations. You have just deployed a tactic of gaslighting.
Yeah. It's one of them things where it's like, look, if we look at the greater politic, we know that it's easier, right? Like if you want to get on the side of white people, make fun of black struggle. If you want to get on the side of white people, like, oh, this wokeness, the more celebrities that speak negatively on wokeness is the more celebrities that should lose our respect. Because when they talk about wokeness, they're only talking about the active call out of racism, the active call out of sexism. That's all we talking about. Like, and we know that's what we mean when we say woke. Whenever people trying to run around with it, when black people are demonizing woke, they demonizing their own struggle. They demonize like when you talk about in his last stand up, I think it was called Tambourine or something like that. Like there are issues that Chris Rock is talking about that matters to black people. And what it means to be woke is to recognize why those things matter to black people. And so for him to come out and kind of like and kind of portray what he portrayed, like I did have a knee-jerk defense because I feel like you said earlier, you can't judge how somebody get back.
Yeah, hey, you know hood politics. Hey, listen, when I get to get back, I get to decide when it happened. I get to decide how I do it. You see what I'm saying? I ain't negating that. I ain't saying he shouldn't get his lick back. I ain't saying he shouldn't get his kick back. I'm saying the way in which he did it, it was more dangerous in the bigger picture. Because now it's bigger than what you and Will Smith got going on. You talk trash about your convict felon family member wanting to work in a safe place.
Which is, I mean, and the thing about it though, like what we gotta understand is like niggas that talk like that, you gotta applaud because it's an elevation in understanding and what they expect from the workplace. A nigga said he feels safe at work, and the nigga was criticized for feeling safe at work.
Chris Rock said he full of shit. Chris Rock said that he said, you talking to me, you full of shit. You went to jail for this. It's like you said. So to me, at this point, it's like Chris Rock, you can't even see your people through the lens of your people. You can only see your people through the lens of white folks. And I want to the reason why I put this comment right here. This last I'll say right here, and I'll let you take it away. I'll get going. Hey Kevin. The burden of figuring out what Chris was supposed to say is on Chris. When I tell you I'm 1,000 there with a couple followers on social media, I'm talking about leisure, resources, and accessibility. Chris Rock has people on payroll. It was people that got paid to help him write that space, that comedy. So when you ask the question, tell us what Chris was supposed to do, the onus is on Chris to figure out something better to do.
I mean, because if we're being honest, and this is the last thing I say, and you can go ahead and close it out, bro. Me and Lee was having a conversation because there was ways that I was in defense of some of the shit he was saying.
Definitely.
But the one
we had a conversation, you see where I was coming from.
the one thing that I cannot stand by and defend is the whole I'll pay $20 for some racist leggings.
Nah, it's funny. No. Hold on. Read the worst part of it was Mama said don't fight in front of white people, but I'm finna tell a joke to white people that I only watched this film of Will Smith being a slave to watch him get beat.
Can't stand
that was his joke. His joke was, I watched Emancipation just so I can see Will Smith get beat. I even said, Master, is that enough? Hit him again, Master. Did you hit right here, Master? That's literally what he said.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like those types of things are indefensible. Those are jokes that you hear from niggas that be around white people. You feel me? Like that's something Chris Rock, like Adam Sandler partner would make a joke like that. You feel me? Like that's what you. But like as a nigga, like who I don't care what beef I got with a nigga. I'm not gonna wish racism on them.
That's what he did. Swear to God. He said, hey, I don't like this black man so much. I'm going to wish racism. I hope Massa hits him in this way, and this way, and this way. And it's like, this not funny to me, bro. You making this joke on one of the largest streaming platforms in the world that is consumed and owned by white people.
Yeah. I can't laugh at that. I mean, but even like that, I think that's the point that the issue that the problem that we have is we actually do make the decision to pay for the $20 racist leggings before we pay $120 for, you know what I'm saying, for some anti-racist shit. That's the problem. Like, yes, it is more expensive to be anti-racist. It's more work you got to do to be anti-racist. You know what I mean? So, you know, I wanted to come on here and be like, nah, Lee, nah, but I can't do it, bro.
Man, you know, I thought you was in class with me, man. You was sat in the same classrooms as you. So you know how hot I used to be, and being real with you, not even being sensational.
That's what we came up with the term middle class niggas.
Swear to God, that's what he came up with that term. Yeah, he conducted himself as a middle class nigga, and he dropped the mic by saying, "I was raised right." You already know that rhetoric, bro. When we start using that rhetoric, you was raised right,
but because it goes back to, and my fault. This is the last thing I say. It goes back to the difference between black people and niggas argument. It goes back to the fact that Chris Rock was the one that made it cool to say, nah, it's a difference between niggas and black people. Like that's respectability politics par excellence. So yeah, man. You got it, bro. You got this one. I ain't even gonna do what I thought I was gonna do when we first talked about it. So you got it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, listen. It's been good, y'all. Until next time, I'll be doing more lives. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Hey, tell a friend to check out, you know what I'm saying, this little old video. I'll be bringing more videos to have more substance. I'm going to be popping out some PowerPoints and some lectures on y'all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a lecture over whiteness theory, whiteness studies, the concept of whiteness. That's going to be a lecture y'all, you know what I'm saying, should be on the lookout for. It's coming up real soon. Research over me search, and don't think too deeply about the shallow shit, because you will drown in your own shallow understanding. I was trying not to curse during this, but I think that, you know, I've been drinking me a little beer too, so it came out. I'll try to do better next live, man. It's been real though, you know.